Okay, welcome back to Teal House Farm. I've got JJ with me. Where'd you go, JJ? Come here. She's wandering around. She's gonna help me. We're gonna go dig through the barn and we're gonna see if we can find enough stuff to build some new raised beds. I got lots of stuff in the barn. We're gonna see if we can. No, not that kind of bed. Garden bed. I got lots of stuff in the barn, but I'm not 100% sure what's in there. Sam did an awesome job organizing it, so it should be easy to find some things. What we have behind you are the raised beds we built last year. Worked out pretty well. We're going to make some, I think, that are a little bit shorter, though, than that, so we don't have to use quite as much wood and not as much fill for them to help save some money and some time. But we are just expanding our raised bed area in the garden because it's just the easiest way to garden, even though it's the most expensive to get started on. But as far as wear and tear on your body, it's easiest, so we're going to expand the garden that way instead of making more ground space available, because that's what's going to be hardest on your body throughout the year. So JJ's going to help me look through the barn. We're going to see what we can pull out, because the idea is we don't want to spend any money or spend as little money as possible. We are going to have to buy some fill. I can't fill a whole raised bed from what we have here. So let's go see what we can find.
Mommy, I'm going to go next to the ducks.
You're going to go next to the ducks?
Yeah!
All right, JJ, leave him alone. All right, let's see what we can find.
Mommy, why is there a dog kennel in there?
Because we use it to move the sheep. Here, you want to show them? So our next project after do this is we're gonna.
I'm a swing.
No, don't do that. We're going to scoop all this out. It's not real deep, and we're gonna put that on top of the no-till garden and put some new straw down to get some more sheep. Pretty soon. It's not quite sheep time yet.
Hello.
Hi, JJ. All right, come on. Let's see what we can find. That's another project for another day.
How much years?
Oh, not years. Days. There is our discard whatever pile. Let's see what we can find for some raised beds.
We get started just digging through the pile. I'm hoping to make this out of the same things that I used last year when I made the 2 raised bed I already have. So I'm looking for some cedar pickets, some fence pickets, and also maybe some 1x or 2x4s to help brace it. So I was able to find 1x4, and then I did find a few cedar pickets. I wasn't able to find as many as I wanted, so I'm not going to be able to make 2 today, but I should have enough material here to make 1, and so that'll be a great start. You definitely want to stay away from any sort of treated wood, so don't use those old railway ties or anything like that for this project. You don't want to be smelling the chemicals coming off of them. Cedar is a great choice, though, which is what I was able to find because it's naturally pest and rot resistant.
We found it right here. We found.
Okay, here's what I've got. We're going to use the same.
Flying.
Be careful up there, okay?
Owie.
Don't bonk your head.
I did.
Okay, we're going to use the same wood we used last time because it worked really well. So these are cedar pickets, and I've got enough to do 2 pickets tall. So this will be a little bit shorter. It'll be half the height of the last ones we built. So we're going to do 2 tall, and then I'm going to use this. I think that's a 1x, and we're going to cut that into small pieces to help brace the sides.
What's a picket?
This is a picket. You put them on fences. See how they're rounded at the top? So, but cedar is rot resistant, so it should last us quite a while. If JJ doesn't break them using them as a surfboard. Okay, JJ, we got to bring these outside, and then we got to get the saw. We're going to make some cuts.
What if the geese eat them?
Geese won't eat them.
What if they break their teeth?
I think they'll be okay. You want to help me?
We need to get these down to the garden, so JJ's going to give me a hand here. We'll take down the wood that we found, and we're also going to need some power tools. We're going to need a drill. We're going to need some screws. I don't have any outside screws, but drywall screws is what I used last year, so I'm just going to use them again. And then we're also going to need a circular saw.
Hey, do you want to get your toolbox and help me with something? I'm making a garden bed. Yeah, sounds like I gotta feed the baby first though. Are you hungry? Is nap time over? Alright, got your toolbox? We need a measuring tape. And yeah, safety glasses be a good idea too.
I need the glasses on.
The girls give me a hand laying things out. So we have 6 pickets total. We're going to use 2 for each long side, and we're going to use 1 and cut it in half for each short side of the rectangle. So what we're going to do for the long sides is we're going to cut 3 pieces of this 1x into braces. It'll go along both sides and down the middle to help give some structure to the sides. The girls help me measure it out, and then we're going to give it a nice cut. Once we get it cut, we go ahead and lay it out. So you want to make sure that you're screwing into the wood so that the screws will point into your box and not on the outside, because you don't want to snag yourself every time you walk by your box in the future. So we put the 1x's underneath and screw down into them, and those 1x's will go on the inside of the box once we put it all together. We're going to need to repeat this process twice for each long side, and then we're going to go ahead and work on making those short sides as well.
Alright, Micah, bring me 2 more. Don't do that, you'll knock the screws out. 2 more of those things. These type of wood, they're over there. Bring me 2 of them.
I'm gonna ride my bike.
Okay.
Mommy, I need a bike.
Okay, and then lay them on the concrete. Alright, can you lay them here?
Mama, I rode a bike.
Yep, and then put them right next to each other.
I can go down the hill with you.
Put them next to each other just like the other 2 are. On the concrete. There you go. Yep.
JJ, if you want, I can go down with you on the bike down the hill.
While Micah and I make the second long side, Ivy goes ahead and measures out the remaining pickets, and we're going to cut these in half to make the short sides. So this box will be about 6 foot by 3 foot. I cut the remaining pickets in half, and we're going to stack these on top of each other to make that short side of the rectangle. And then it's time to put it together. This is a little trickier. There's nowhere on our property that's real flat, and so trying to get it nice and square was a bit of a task. Ivy gave me a good hand though, and we were able to kind of get it worked out. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want it close, and I think we were able to do that today.
Okay. Boo! Okay, so we got it put together. There it is.
My bed. It's my bed.
It's your bed.
It's my bed.
I think I'm going to put a bracing bar across the middle. I've got them in the larger ones. I'll show you.
What's the bracing bar?
You can see it helps prevent explosion from the pressure of the dirt. Helps just give the bed more structure. So I might do that, but I'm out of time for today. We got to finish dinner, huh, Pat? The biggest question, though, sorry about that random deer leg the dog dragged up. The biggest question is where to put it. Aesthetically, I think the best place to put it would be like here, so you have the path and be 1, 2, 3. But I don't know if that's flat enough. We have like no flat ground on this property. It's really hard to find places to put things. So it's gonna go where the flattest ground is, which may not be somewhere aesthetically close to making the garden look anyway symmetrical, but I'd much rather have a bed that's flattish so that doesn't put too much weight on one side than go with what's like perfectly measured out. When you look at other people's videos or Pinterest pictures of their evenly spaced, 12 raised beds, always keep in mind that not only was it work to build the beds and money to build the beds, they probably invested a decent amount of money in leveling the ground, and that is hard work inexpensive if you don't have the equipment to do it. I don't have any large equipment. I really can't level the ground at all. Like, it is what it is. So when you see things like that, you think you might want to do something like that for yourself. Awesome. Keep that hidden expense in mind. Not even mentioning if you want like gravel or chips or something so you don't have to mow around your beds, but just the process of getting ground flat, unless you happen to be blessed with perfectly flat land, which most people aren't. It's really a hidden expense people don't think about. We're not spending that money here, so I'm going to figure out where to put this bed. We'll figure it out for next time. We're just going to put it somewhere in the garden-ish area that is relatively flat, wherever that ends up being. After we get it moved, the next step will be to fill it with some branches, and I have a lot of leftover straw. That'll be a bottom layer, and then it'll be like these guys with a mix of compost and fill dirt on top, and these guys need a new layer of compost and fill dirt. They settled so much from last year, so that's probably on the docket for later this week. That's probably the most expensive part, is just filling them. Yes, JJ? Okay, take turns. That right there, just those beds and topping them off, that's easily going to be $100. The new bed plus topping off the old beds, including the free branches and straw that we're putting in there. So we're not filling them completely with dirt. That's easily going to be $100. I don't have a good source of cheap fill dirt. I can't order fill dirt and have it delivered because they can't bring it up to the garden. We looked into this. The dump truck or whatever they deliver it in has to be able to make it up your driveway to where you want it dumped, and they won't bring it up to the garden. They will dump it. They said they can dump it at the end of our driveway. Everything on our farm is like straight up a hill, but then we have to be able to bring it from the end of the driveway up to the garden, and we don't have the ability to do that without any large equipment. So the easiest thing to do is to just buy bags of it. That's because then we can load it in the back of the truck and get the truck pretty close to the garden and just use wheelbarrows to drag the bags the rest of the way. So that's probably what we're going to end up doing. These are things to keep in mind. I just tell you these things because I feel like when you look at pictures or ideas, you never realize everything that goes into that idea. Whether the ground has to be leveled, where are you going to get your dirt? Even if you have cheap access to dirt, do you have a way to get it, or do you have a way for somebody to bring it to you? Will they bring it to you all the way, or is your ground not going to be good for large equipment going up to any property? These are all things to keep in mind, trying to figure out what's going to work best for your setup. Because as cool as raised bed gardening is, it's not a good setup for everywhere. That's the reason we've waited so long to get it started, is we knew it would be a very expensive start for us just because of where we are and how our ground is set up. So we did traditional row gardening for a long time because that was what made the most sense for where we are. So it's not always about what you want to do, it's about what will work best where you are and what is most affordable for you where you are. So that's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. We'll keep you updated. It's almost time to plant onions and root vegetables, so that'll be coming up in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned. See you guys soon.